Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. This is an episode 2. We're now on 3 of the Rare Humans podcast, where we talk about how to thrive with a complex biology in today's society. And the topic of conversation today is food.
You're going to love this topic, everybody. Why drink my electrolytes?
Nice. What kind of
Because
electrolyte?
this affects all of you. No matter who's seeing this, this affects you. When you have two guys with type 1 diabetes, Addison's, which is an adrenal autoimmune, and hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, right? And you listen to how we thrive with our diet, you can implement this no matter if you have no health issues. Because our bodies are so sensitive and they give us feedback immediately when we eat that we can really help you become more metabolically healthy. And Jack and I talk about that a lot, right? You need to be metabolically healthy, right? With your genes. If you're a hunter-gatherer, 1,000 years ago, you need to be able to absorb fats. You need to be able to absorb carbs. When you're not eating, your body needs to make ketones. Your body needs to be metabolically healthy, and it's probably not. And that's where the issues come into. So we're going to talk about today. I'm going to start out with, and then I'm going to push it to Jack, which is my rules of my diet and food. Okay, this is an important one because these can be rules you can adopt. So number one, eat real food. Now we hear that a lot and we go, well, what does that mean? If it's a packaged food, there should be major question marks. Now, does that mean I don't eat a good potato chip cooked in avocado oil with 3 ingredients? No, that's not a major food group for me, but here are my rules. Okay, number one, eat real food. It needs to be quality, real food. That means for me personally, I don't eat feedlot, hormones, antibiotics, meat. Okay, super particular about my meat. So I personally use ButcherBox. Shout out to ButcherBox. You want to throw some my way, we'll talk later. But I'm an early adopter, 2020, early 2020, actually 2019 ButcherBox adopter. Now, why do I like it? It goes from farm and gets shipped directly to my house. So I know I'm getting grass-fed, grass-finished, right? And
Nice.
to be honest with you, grass-fed beef, especially ground beef because it's cheap, is a staple of my diet. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, I eat chicken and I don't eat a lot of red meat. I'm like, why not? Right? So my daughter also works at Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's. And Trader Joe's has a great grass-fed ground beef as well. So that's a staple of our diet. So I like real food. I like organic produce. I would tell you my rules, and then, I know I'm rambling, but I would tell you it's better not to eat a salad. I know we're all like, I eat salad. If it's loaded with glyphosates and sprays. Now, Jack doesn't have to worry as much because Jack's in Canada. Okay, now in Canada, the food has rules like I have. In the U.S., it's a freaking gunfight, free for all. And I'm not going to get into that rabbit hole this second. But so I like organic. I like free range, grass fed, super clean. When I eat out, I feel like garbage most of the time. Personally, myself, I have a real hard time eating out because there's always funkiness. That's why I like going to restaurants like a True Foods who don't use seed oils, who use organic. So there's a lot of those around the U.S. But I really struggle eating out personally. I can go to a steakhouse. I can say, don't put anything on the steak except salt. I can get a veg with some olive oil on top. A glass of wine, I'm fine here and there. But my rules are eat real food. And so that means no seed oils, no garbage. I try to eat pretty much organic. We get raw milk in California. So I mean, unless I'm going to make a cappuccino and I'm going to heat it. So why put raw milk in there? But I love raw milk. That's another huge part of my diet. I just think about like 1,000 years ago, what would I eat? And I kind of try to move that direction. What about you, Jack?
What is raw milk?
So raw milk is just milk when it comes out of the cow.
Okay, so what's the difference between raw milk and what you'd buy at the traditional grocery store?
So traditionally at the store, they heat it to a certain point to kill any bacteria. The problem is it kills all the digestive enzymes that your body needs to absorb and use the quality nutrients in really good milk. And so 100
Interesting.
years ago, nobody had milk allergies. Now 60% of the population is lactose intolerant because they're really absorbing a dead, boiled, heated product that we serve as homogenized and pasteurized in the veil of safe drinking. Now, when you use raw milk, a raw product, the way it was meant to, super clean, super digestible. I'm not a huge dairy person, but raw milk or kefir in a raw form, especially organic, I use raw farms we get in California, is to me a magical superfood.
That is fascinating. I have a lactose intolerant. Like I haven't been diagnosed lactose intolerant or anything like that, but when I drink milk, I have really bad gas, and
So
it
I,
generally
you
messes
just said
with
that.
my poops. But you know what?
I was kidding. I threw a joke out. I said, "Well, Jack, that's normal. You're a young man. You probably have gas, anyways."
Fair enough. Yeah, fascinating. Okay, so if I were to drink whole milk, I
So,
would.
Jack, when you come down to Cali
Yeah,
and we're hanging,
have some whole milk, and I'll probably feel good
we're
after.
gonna try. We're not gonna overwhelm you, but we're gonna get a little raw milk in you,
Yeah, yeah,
and I bet you it's like a light bulb. Like, whoa,
that's
I feel
incredible.
great
Yeah, because man, I think it's different with every single dairy. Like with Greek yogurt, it's not as bad. With cheeses, it's not as bad. But
because it's
drink
fermented.
okay, because when I drink milk, boom, I feel it right away. I'm like, oh, that didn't sit
No
right.
digestive enzymes. It's
Wow.
heated to a certain level. All the enzymes are dead.
Yeah.
With cheese and yogurt, especially good cheese, right? Because you're in Canada, right? And your first language. I mean, you were born in Quebec and you speak French, right? So when
Hummus.
you have a cheese like a Parmesan, like a Parmigiano Reggiano, my wife's Italian, and that's raw milk, unpasteurized, probably the king of cheeses,
Mhm.
super fermented, 18 months, 36 months. I guarantee, Jack, you can have that all day long. You feel
Right.
great. Good Greek yogurt, fermented, a lot of the extra water drained out of it, so it's thicker.
Yeah.
Body can use fermented foods because we didn't have refrigeration for thousands of years, so your body likes that.
Sure. Okay, that's amazing. That is.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. That's really good to know.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers for that. In terms of rules that I follow, mm, well, my biggest one is really being low carb because that really helps me control my blood sugar levels. When it comes to eating, like you're saying, grass fed, grass finished meats, I am not as picky because I can't necessarily afford to do that yet.
Yeah, Jack, how old are you?
32.
Yeah, see, I'm 47. I know I don't look at you. You don't have to say anything. Um, and Jack's 32. When I was 32, I ate just like Jack.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
So all the rules he's going to explain. So he's doing it right. I'm just rich now. So when you get richer,
You can
you get
afford to
older,
do
you create more wealth. You
the
just get rid of the negotiable. Like, what with this money, do I need a nicer car or should I eat like super clean? And that's happened in my 40s. And Jack is wildly successful. By the time he's mid to late 30s, he'll probably have a chef in his kitchen cooking for him.
Yeah, I hope so. That'd be amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Speaking that into existence, brother.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, so my rules, I mean, it's pretty similar to you. It's like whole, natural, nutrient dense foods that actually work for me during the day and that keep my energy stable. So yeah, I'm a big like you, like when we were primal beings, what did we eat? We ate meat because we hunted. We ate the vegetables that were made available to us by Mother Nature, tubers, which are like potatoes, sweet potatoes, like some of those more starchy vegetables, carb dense veggies. Those weren't always super readily available. And fruit, this is something that I have learned that just boggles my mind. Fruit was only available back then in season, and that season was generally end of summer, fall to get us ready for the winter. And that is because in the winter, it's cold. There's not as much food available. So we have to kind of fatten up to get through the winter. And that's why fruit equals sugar equals carbs equals glucose was made available to us then so that we'd eat it, fatten up so that we could survive the winter. It's incredible how Mother Nature works. there's so many questions I have.
And the long days, right, Jack?
Later.
So the sun
Yeah,
came up early. The sun didn't go down until 9 o'clock at night in certain areas of the world. And,
yeah,
right, certain areas of the world, the sun didn't go down, right? And so that fruit would sustain you for the longer days and the harvest and things like that. And then you would add body fat for the winter, like you said. So metabolically, there's a reason for seasons, right?
yeah. But like there wasn't fruit available 365 days a year. And the
No.
way I look at it now, it's just like we're constantly eating fruit and we're just like fattening ourselves. Anyways, that is what it is. Um, how would you like to jump into like breakfast, lunch,
So
and dinner?
rules, Jack. So your rules are low carb,
Yeah,
right? And more of a paleo, right? Paleolithic,
yeah. Lots of meat, lots of
ancestral diet.
yeah, correct. Lots of
Plus
meat.
cigarettes and alcohol because you're in Canada.
Yeah, yeah. I'm 32, so
You'll love it. You'll love this podcast, you guys, especially as we get mics and we develop it more. Jack and I have a perfect 1-2 punch, right? Like I'm super American, super, and Jack's like proper Canadian. Like I love it. He's like, fair enough. Yes, yeah,
yeah. Keeping off the podcast though, man. I swear, like it's nobody's business. My mother every day. Stop
yeah.
swearing. Swearing.
We're
I
keeping
really
Jack
do
at
need to stop.
bay.
You know, this is a great practice run for me to
We're
stop.
trying to. If kids walk in the room and the podcast on, we're hoping that
There was,
it's okay.
oh yeah, for
So,
sure.
Jack, here's the thing. Here's what I'm thinking. Rules, right? We
Yeah.
have similar rules, right? You're 32, so your focus is more on low carb. When I was 32, it was the same.
All right.
And we both agree that quality food, right, is the name of the game. I'm more of quality over quantity, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a quality meal. What I've been doing lately, too, for all of you in here that are metabolically trying to get stable, I'm a big like fast till noon, like eat from noon to 8 or 11 to 7. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Mhm.
Before that, my face was this big. Now it's, you see the inflammation down. So what I've been doing lately, Jack, right, is when I start eating, I'm going more like 9 to 5 now. So because of my schedule these days, I'm eating earlier and I'm finishing earlier and I'm going to bed hungry. And I remember when I was the most ripped and I felt the best, my stomach would be growling going to bed.
Mm.
So that's another new rule of mine is really don't eat 3 hours before bed. Sleep is so important for you and I because with our metabolic stuff.
Sure.
So
Good
a
for everybody.
breakfast for
At the end of the day, you want to be going to bed on an empty stomach. If you're lying down with a bunch of food in your belly, doesn't matter if you're diabetic, doesn't matter who you are, anybody, that is
terrible.
stress on your system that is not, it's just hard, to get over that. Like I remember leaning into, oh, it's 11 p.m. I can't sleep. What do I do? And, just go like eat something. Cause like, that's what you're thinking. Like the
Because
carbohydrate.
food's a drug.
Yeah, carbohydrates are a drug. Food,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think really lean into carbohydrates are a drug in that they speak to your brain and they're a pleasure. They give you pleasure and they also give you satiety and they give you they let you kind of chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
think those rules we learn, right? And everything that's a perfect diet 5 years later is not a perfect diet. But I always say the best things in life are free, right? So not eating is free. Not
mhm,
eating is free.
mhm,
Okay. So the best things in life are free. So sometimes, I think for me, I think the biggest game changer, if you ask me diet wise, from Jack's age to my age, like what was the biggest game changer you had? I have people come up to me, because they see me and they're like, "Are you an underwear model?" And I'm like, "Retired." Anyways, so they come up to me and they go, "Man, you're in great shape for your age." And I go, "What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean my age?" You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Oh,
and they ask me, and I say, "Listen, I'll give you the best advice, and then if you ever want to come back to me and you listen to me, which most don't, and then I'll give you the full breakdown." Fasting, right? I think the number one rule to my food and my diet, Jack's is low carb. My number one is fasting. When your
yeah.
stomach is bubbly, fast. When you're
Mhm,
not sleeping well, fast,
mhm.
right? When you need to lose body fat or visceral fat around your organs, fast.
Yeah.
Fasting is the freest, easiest way to build up a tolerance right, in your dieting structure. So for
Yeah,
me, that's it. So, Jack, question wise, with your food, give me an idea, and I think people love to hear this. What's a typical first meal of the day for you?
sure. I'd love to get a woman on the podcast too to talk about fasting because the women in my life they are nervous to fast because they think it's going to mess with their hormones and stuff like that. I can't speak to that, but I'd love
We'll
to.
have my wife on. She's been fasting with me for 10.
Okay, amazing,
She just
great.
did a 3 day. She just did a 3 day fast four
Well,
months ago.
I can't wait to do my first 3 day.
She's a beast too, and she lives with a diabetic, so she knows the struggle.
Sure. Sorry, what was your question? Breakfast or what is it?
My
What do
question was what is kind of your rules and not really rules? What does your day start out like with food? Like how does I think people love to hear a day in the life. So like when do you normally eat? What's it kind of look like?
Yeah,
Give us an idea of the start of your day when it comes to food and how you handle that as a diabetic and Addison's and Hashimoto's.
yeah. So in a perfect world, I'm going to wake up with really stable blood sugars. I'm going to head to the kitchen. I'm going to boil some water. I'm going to put half room temp water. I'm going to put half a lemon, sodium, potassium, and magnesium into that water. Not the packets that are with artificial sweeteners, straight up just the minerals. Yeah. What do you have in
That's what
there?
artificial sweeteners look like.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it's good. I use them too when I'm traveling and stuff. Like, it's kind of hard to lug around all of them. Yeah, packets are clutch at times, but I think like everything, anything in moderation, you know what I mean? Or everything in
I
moderation.
agree.
So yeah, electrolytes, lemon, half hot, half warm water, or half room temp water. That'll get me going. That'll be at like, let's
And
say,
why do you do that, Jack? Tell everybody why you do that. Like, what's the purpose of doing it that way?
it's like a natural caffeine for me. Like it wakes me up. I don't know how to explain it, but I drink
But
it.
it hydrates you.
Oh, I feel so good. And it's like, yeah, it's crazy because
But being a diabetic, you're dehydrated a lot. So when you wake up and you hydrate your cells, I mean,
boom.
that's magic.
Yeah. And I drank coffee for a long time, but it's like anything in life. Like yeah, fair. Yeah, yeah. I still drink coffee every now and again. What I try to do when I drink coffee, I'll drink it an hour and a half after I wake up, so as to get the adenosine out of your body, so that you
Yep,
don't want to have a nap midday.
totally.
Um, yeah. So I'll have the water. I don't have coffee at home. It's pretty cool. Um,
Wait
Mix
till
the
you come stay. Wait till you come stay with me, Jack. We're gonna be crushing coffee.
all right, no
You're gonna
worries.
be like, woo!
Walls. Yeah, so I'll do that at around 8. I might eat right away. I might not. And if I don't, it's probably going to be 2 hours later. I'll just kind of like settle in some work, get a rhythm going. And then my first meal. So my first meal will be preceded by psyllium husk, roughly 5 grams to give myself fiber. Because what I'm usually eating for breakfast is 6 eggs, egg whites, and then like 2 or 3 pieces of cheese, like the sliced cheese. So that's processed, but it is what it is. For
Like American sliced cheese or like Canadian sliced cheese?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a huge difference. I know there is a difference between like what the states allow you to
What's the brand?
it's private label at our grocery store Loblaws.
It's not cheddar. It's not like an actual.
Yeah, it's old cheddar.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's yeah. That's I mean, that's not bad. It's better than like American nasty craft singles.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. It's
Yeah,
so
you
much.
guys don't get crappy cheese in Canada, bro. You guys got the good stuff.
Yeah, you do, but you pay for it. Like I'll get, let's say, 24 slices of cheese for $10. Craft singles, I think you can buy like 24 slices for $2.
There's a
It's
reason.
there, yeah. And like, I do consider myself very privileged in that I am able to afford that kind of cheese. Like I don't do grass fed, grass finished. Like I'm not at that tier yet, but yeah. So
Yeah.
my breakfast will be six eggs, um, 2 to 3 slices of cheese, egg white. So you're looking at like 6 times 6 is 36. I'm just doing protein.
Plus
Uh,
whites, plus
yeah,
cheese.
plus whites, let's call it 40, plus cheese, let's call it like 55 grams of
Yeah,
protein. I don't know how many grams of fat, and frankly, I don't care. Like fat is
yeah.
my yeah,
Fat is our friend.
yeah, fat is our friend. So I'll have a really protein heavy and fat heavy breakfast, and then the psyllium will make it so that it doesn't flow right through me. Because before I started taking psyllium, I'd have breakfast, and then like an hour later, I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then whew, come out like
Jack,
magic.
what is psyllium? What is psyllium husk for people that don't know? And hopefully you switch to organic with that psyllium because they spray the shit out of those psyllium
Oh yeah,
plants. So
right.
we'll talk about that. But
Yeah,
what
sure.
is psyllium? Tell
Yeah,
everybody.
thanks. Psyllium. So psyllium is a plant that's native to Asian countries, and you take the husk and you grind it down. So it's just the husk of a plant and it's fiber. And so what that does for me is it congeals in my stomach, and it makes um, in my digestive tract. It makes everything kind of go slower through the digestive tract, and it allows the digestive tract to actually take advantage of all the food that's in there, and instead of the food
It
that's
gives it more time to absorb in the digestive tract, correct?
correct, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's
And
breakfast.
for us, it slows the rate of insulin that we need as well because it adds fiber,
Hmm.
right? So even for us with no carb, your body still needs to manage the fat and the calories, and
Yeah,
that can kind of creep up on us an hour later, right?
sure.
Um, so that psyllium husk slows that response, right? So it manages a little bit better. That's a great idea, Jack.
Yeah.
I take psyllium husk when I travel
All right.
just to keep everything moving, especially with dehydration that most people don't talk about and things
Yeah.
like that. But that's a good reminder to do that every morning to start the day with your food.
Oh yeah, it's a game changer for sure. I have a stack. I take L-glutamine, I take creatine, I take vitamin C, and I take more electrolytes. So that goes
Mhm.
with food.
Now,
Uh,
Jack, when did you start doing electrolytes?
God, when I started doing like real electrolytes, I'm
Like
like,
every day, like electrolytes?
oh, not long ago, like 2 months
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. And why? How
Yeah.
did you find out about electrolytes?
Honestly, I think it was just like through talking to you, and like, electrolytes are huge right now. There are so
That
many
was
different.
the prop. That was the props I was looking for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was you. Yeah.
I
And then,
was like, Jack.
through the rabbit hole of ChatGPT, I kind of like, I told it, like, look, these are all my chronic health issues. Like, how do you suggest I approach this? And they were like, well, because you are in, you have all these health issues and your body doesn't produce aldosterone, which is what manages the electrolytes in your body, you are actually
Yep.
in need of a lot of salt. So I go 6 to 1 salt, sodium, potassium, and magnesium.
Do you use a certain type of sodium, Jack, or does it matter?
That's like Celtic salt, Celtic sea salt, or
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's good.
So
Happy with it.
to start my day, for years I fasted. I've even since when I was a kid, Jack, I never was hungry in the morning.
Yeah.
And so when I eat in the morning, I kind of force myself. So if I'm up at,
Yeah.
let's just say 7 a.m., and even now, even eating early for me is like 9 a.m. I've been really into fermenting. So I've been making my own sourdough for a long time. I
Cool.
buy this flour, Jack. It's called Einkorn,
Yeah.
Einkorn. Yeah, so it's a Bible times flour. It's not hybridized. It's not so it's the cleanest flour. I buy a whole wheat einkorn. It's expensive as like a
Oh,
little bag's like $11.
geez.
But
What does that give you? A loaf?
so yeah, so that's like 2 loaves of sourdough. But what I've been doing lately, Jack, and when I see you, I'll make it for you.
Sure.
But first thing in the morning, I've been on a kick lately. I've been fermenting that with my sourdough starter and sweet potatoes, and I've been making sweet potato pancakes.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
so half sweet potato, half einkorn flour, 4 or 5 eggs, little baking soda, salt, blah, 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 and ferment it overnight on the counter, and it grows like a sourdough loaf. And then I make pancakes out of it the next day.
All right.
And then in the morning, I'll mix protein powder into it.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
that's been my kick lately. Generally, I'm like Jack though. So, 5 or 6 eggs, get a lot of protein in me. I'm training for a triathlon right now, and I'm just starting
Whoa.
to get into the
Let's
training
go.
phase.
All right.
Not easy to do with 3 autoimmunes, especially type 1, where you got to really freaking manage your blood sugars in the
Yeah.
triathlon.
What's a triathlon? Tell me what the.
So for an Olympic try is about a mile swim,
Hmm.
and then I'll get out of the water, and this is open ocean. So mile swim, open ocean. So I'm gonna have a honey packet stuck into my
Cool.
wetsuit just in case, right?
Facts, yeah.
Um, As soon as I get out, I'll transition to the bike. So I'll jack a honey packet or two, eat a banana, get on the bike, right?
How
And
long? Right.
30 something miles, 38 miles on the bike.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I do a 10K to finish it. That's an Olympic triathlon, 10K run.
That's fun. Damn.
About a 3 hour, about a
Yeah.
3 hour. So
Damn, let's go, man.
eating
Congrats.
more I'm eating a little bit more carbs because when you swim and you run and you bike and things like that.
Mhm.
So my rules in the morning, if I'm is here's how I think about it at 47. I want the most amount of fat, protein, and carbs to come the first half of my day. This can help all of you.
Interesting.
Okay. So I want to start high and funnel down to the end of my day and eat very low carb. When I have dinner, I don't want a lot of carbs. The most carbs I'll have at dinner is an Ezekiel tortilla,
Mm.
which after fiber and everything is less than 20 grams of carbs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I worked out hard and all that day, so I could definitely use more. So
Mm-hmm.
I like to go if my body tells me it needs more, I want to get it as early as possible. Here's what I've found, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
12 o'clock in the afternoon is the peak of your insulin absorption. Midnight is the absolute opposite. So the more you eat towards midnight, the more your body stores it as fat.
Yeah.
The more you eat towards 12 p.m. noon, the more your body uses it for fuel, muscle, and carbohydrates and fat and everything else for muscle. So for
Yeah.
me, I like to go hot and heavy on breakfast and lunch,
Yeah.
even dump a protein shake in after lunch to
Mm.
get the body moving. And then I'm tapering down by dinner, done by 5 ideally. And
Yeah.
then when I go to bed at let's say 10:30, I'm hungry.
Cool.
So, but if I go like Jack, I'll notice this now. I want to get your comment on this. If I do a super heavy protein shake at like 3 in the afternoon, I notice my blood sugars get high no matter what I do.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's
So,
weird.
does that ever happen to you? Like, I feel like if I do a lot of protein in a
Mm.
shake and yogurt and blueberries and all that, but I do it like at 3, I
Mm-hmm.
notice that afternoon my blood sugar, like this. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's something to do with our Addisons as well and the cortisol and all that. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
So I think it's just protein being so yeah, same thing. I would have like just like a straight up protein shake, like protein and water, drink it, and I would freaking fly high into the sky.
Mm.
What the hell? It's just protein. There's no carbs. A huge lever that I've been pulling lately is psyllium husk in the protein shake.
That's a good idea.
Nutritional yeast in the protein shake.
Add the fiber.
Add the fiber. The fiber doesn't make you go up. It's insane how different it is. Straight protein, boom. With fiber, boom. It's so
Interesting.
nicer. Yeah. So my protein shakes now consist of, yeah, straight protein to the dome is not a good idea. Funnily, like straight protein, just protein. When it's a
You
lot
would
of
think I know that by now.
when it's
I didn't know that.
a lot of fat, then it's got a much steadier curve. But when it's just protein, especially dairy protein that, or whether it's dairy or another type of protein powder, those powders just go, yeah, it's actually not good. And like you and I are diabetic, so like we see this in real time. But like
Yeah.
everybody out there who's like just drinking straight protein, your body is producing insulin to break down that blood sugar spike, and that is going to be a blood sugar spike. And I don't know about you, but like when you drink a protein shake, I always drink a protein shake, or I used to anyways, when I was just having straight protein. I drink the protein shake and I'd be like, I'm still hungry. Like that didn't do anything for me. And what I realize is it's the blood sugar spike. It's you drink straight protein, boom, you go up, and then you come down, and then you're hungry. So,
Mm.
that's the
It's not a,
no. And
we want that, right?
yeah. And you're like, but I just had 30 grams of protein. Why am I hungry? So, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jack, what's the second meal of the day look like for you? What are you eating midday?
I will either have like my usual go-tos are like leftovers from dinner, which is generally, we can get to that later. But if it's not leftovers, it's like I'll take a can of tuna. And like, yeah, I think there's, I'd love for you to speak to this, but like mercury or whatever there is, I still eat it. Like there's 25 grams in the tin. It costs me $2.50. I then,
Cheap.
yeah, I take carrots, I take celery, I take onion, which traditionally is known as mirepoix. It's like a very famous French cooking thing. So
Yep. Every
um,
dish starts with a mirepoix.
yeah, so I'll chop those up really finely, throw those in with the tuna, put in some mayonnaise, and then pepper, salt. Bob's your
What
uncle.
kind of oil's in that mayonnaise, Jack?
Yeah, so
I'm asking.
I used to buy private label mayonnaise from the grocery store here, and I think one of the first ingredients is sunflower oil or something like that. I know. I stopped buying it. I started buying avocado mayonnaise, mayonnaise based with avocado oil. There's like half of the amount of mayo at double the price. Boom.
Jack,
But
you got
you
to
know,
start making it yourself.
that's when, yeah, fair enough. I'd love to learn how to make mayo.
I'll
So
show
maybe,
you when you come. I'll show you when I see you
yeah,
next.
sure, we can talk about that. But I've stopped using mayo that is full of those
You know what
oil.
you can do too, Jack, and I've done this before with my tuna.
Yeah, tell
Just
me.
put a bunch of olive oil and some lemon on it. It's almost like makes it into a salady texture. I
All
know
right.
you don't get the same, but yeah, the tuna thing. I just eat a lot less tuna than I used to
Okay, fair. Yeah. And
because
then
it does have a good. And I buy skipjack tuna, which has a lot less mercury than full size albacore.
that is really good to know. Okay, skipjack's my go-to for
Trader
that.
Joe's has it, and I don't buy it in the can like I used to anymore. Trader Joe's has it in like a packet,
All right.
and so there's not all the garbage from the can.
Cool.
And like I said, I'm getting bougier in my old age.
Yeah,
So,
that's
but
fair.
the skipjack has less mercury, but there is a lot of mercury in fish these days. So I
Yeah.
definitely eat less fish than I used to.
And then my second go-to for lunch will be cold cuts, thickly cut with cheese. And then
Mm.
I'll either put like, a sliced up carrot that's like thin enough. It's still got the crunch. But so what I'll do is I'll buy a really big cold cut, stack cheese on top, carrot, then I'll roll it and
Like a
suck.
joint, you'll roll it up. Like,
Super yummy. Like a thick cut cold cut. I'll always go to
so
the
what's a cold cut in Canada?
turkey, ham, chicken,
Yeah.
yeah,
So like
preserved
here,
stuff like that. But like, you know what? I'm not a saint. Like,
you can buy
yeah,
it cleaner
convenient.
too, like
Fair
no
enough.
nitrates and stuff.
Yeah, fair. I don't think I do buy that, but it is what it is. How about you?
Hey,
Lunch. Tell me.
it's you got to pick and choose your battles, right? Um,
Yeah.
Lunch for me often is like yesterday. I'll give you an example. I had a couple sweet potato pancakes. Now here's my next rule, everybody. I always walk after I eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
What
because
is
I have a dog and it really stabilizes my blood sugar and I'm 47. I'm not 32 like Jack. For me, the game changer in my 40s is walking. So
yeah.
after the only reason I had those sweet potato pancakes, Jack, is because I went on a walk after.
You
If
need
I
it.
was not going to walk after, I would not have had those sweet potato pancakes. So what I did is I did sweet potato pancakes, walk. Yesterday, I went right to the gym, lifted heavy,
Nice.
and then came back and had like a 6 egg omelet and ate a
Nice.
lot of protein.
All right.
And then lunchtime, I had like, a couple hours later, I had a protein shake, which is usually Greek yogurt, a little bit of organic blueberries that are frozen. I do green bananas, so I freeze my bananas green
Higher in
because
fiber.
it's a prebiotic fiber as opposed to just, I mean, a banana can be 5 grams of carbs or it can be 30 grams or 40 grams of
Yeah.
carbs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I like them green or at least halfway there. Um, I had a shake for lunch, and then last night we'll jump into dinner. I made like a grass-fed ground beef burger with really good Kerrygold cheese and an arugula salad on the side with just olive oil, lemon, and that's what I had for dinner. But I had a good amount of meat, so I probably had 40, 50 grams of protein in the meat because I didn't have carbs. But then I grabbed the dog with my wife and I went on a walk. So even with a good amount of calories at dinner, right, I went on a 30, 40-minute walk after.
Hmm.
So walking for me is the name of the game after I eat.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought a walking treadmill, and I have it in my condo, next to the couch. So like,
Because it gets cold where you are.
yeah, it does, but it's also just convenience. I'll be working
Yeah, that's what I mean.
all day, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't want to go outside and walk. Like,
You don't have a dog, right? So
I
why
gotta-
why do you need to go outside and walk? It's a pain in the butt.
yeah, yeah. There's the stimulus from nature, and being grounded and seeing all the greenery. Like, yes, and one day I will spoil myself, and I will live in a place where I can easily do that. But like, I have to go to the elevator, I have to go downstairs, I have to go to the park. Oh, So yeah, incredible. Dude, my blood sugar started going
Jackson,
up.
Toronto, everybody. Just a reminder. Jackson, Toronto.
I'll go step on the like if I see my blood sugars going up at any point while I'm sitting there at my desk, I will just like unplug from the office for 10 minutes, turn on the TV, walk for 10 minutes, and just like watch my blood sugars go. I'm like, oh
Yep,
my
every time.
danger.
Even
Yeah,
a 10-minute walk, you guys, is a freaking game changer if you're a diabetic.
yeah, yeah. Not too fast. If you're speed walking, it'll actually probably do the opposite. It'll bring you further up. So it's just a question of like
Because
good
it
pace.
releases cortisol from the inflammatory response, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're running out of time, so why don't we do quick shot at dinner? But before that, what kind of dog do you have?
It's a Vizsla, which is a Hungarian pointer.
Yeah, Vizslas are
She
awesome.
is the greatest dog
Oh my
that
god,
ever lived.
Vizsla. What's her name?
Kona.
Kona. Dude.
Best bike brand, best island, best coffee.
All right. Oh yeah, I didn't strike you. Struck me as more of like a golden retriever kind of guy, but I
Too much
love.
hair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Too much hair. My dog doesn't shed.
Are they
So
hypo?
she's technically they're not hyperallergenic, but both of my boys have a pet allergy
All right.
and are allergic to hay and like things like that. And our dog, no issues. So
Cool.
she's technically not, but she's a pointer, right? So if you look at her, she's pointing right now because she sees a rabbit,
Yeah,
right?
incredible.
That's a video on my phone. See her in pointer stance.
Yeah, what a
Now she
ball.
goes gets the rabbit. So she's about 40 pounds, 42 pounds. Very athletic, has web feet for swimming. I
Cool.
bought her initially because I was training for a triathlon. We wanted a family
All right.
dog, and I
Cool.
could run her 10 miles and she'd run with me.
Oh, it's amazing. Good stuff.
Best dog ever.
Cool. Okay, dinner. I'll start off the dinner conversation.
Well,
Dinner
remember, I already told you what I had for dinner, Jack. So tell us what you have and what your rules are behind dinner.
dinner is usually I'll do, zucchini, eggplant, broccoli. I don't do cauliflower because from what I understand, cauliflower is high in something that messes with your thyroid. Am I right?
Hmm.
Anyways, I don't really ever feel good. Tomatoes and cauliflower, I don't know why, but I don't feel great after eating those. I try to shy away from those. But yeah, zucchini, eggplant, broccoli, or like baked carrots. And so I'll have that with like a fish or a red meat or a white meat. Um, and then, I'll season the meat, salt and pepper. I'll generally season, if I'm baking the veggies, I will bake them with avocado oil or olive oil. I'll throw some salt and some garlic, sometimes ginger on there. So basic, like that's it.
So
Sometimes,
pretty low carb at dinner.
yeah, very, yeah.
So you're
Sometimes,
pretty low carb. What do you think you eat carbs wise a day? Do you ever track that?
Christ, I don't know. Not really. I'm not big into tracking my food. Like, I don't think that's a healthy relationship to have with food. But also, it's just like it takes time. I'm like, dude, I got other things to do. Like, I'm
Yep.
not. I feel like I'm working at a pretty optimal clip right now. Like, I
You know
don't.
your body.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
I'm not.
what you explained is you're in, I mean, just from what you explained, I know there's more in there, but
Hmm.
just from what you explained, you're under 25 grams a day. So my guess is you're probably eating around 50 grams a day max
Yeah.
when you add in all the little variables.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that we didn't talk about snacks, but like, I play tennis 3 to 4 times a week and I'll play tennis at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And if, you know, when I have breakfast, I give myself 3 units of insulin. When 2 hours after breakfast, I will start to climb because the protein is being converted. Um, the protein via gluconeogenesis is being converted into glucose in my bloodstream. I will start to rise. So I'll give myself more insulin. I find myself incredibly insulin sensitive throughout the day. Upon waking
Hmm.
until 3 or 4 in the afternoon, it's impossible for me. It's really difficult for me to control. Then I'll have lunch, and then that protein, like again, not many carbs, but like the protein through gluconeogenesis will come up and spike me. So sometimes it's tough. Like I'll be going to play tennis and I'll watch my blood sugar start to fall, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I will have a banana before I play tennis. I'm not no carb by any means. I eat very low carb because I like to eat very functional food, and like there is a time and a place for fruit, but I don't think it's every day, all the time. when you're pretty sedentary. I think, like I said, like if you're going to go do physical activity where your body can really take advantage of that glucose, by all means, feed it to yourself. But so yeah, I'll give myself like 50, a banana for a snack in the afternoon. So
When
yeah,
before you play tennis?
before I play tennis, correct.
Yeah. Carbs are good before, and then
Yeah,
do you, because you're injecting insulin, right?
yeah.
Do you notice you get low when you play tennis a decent amount because you have that Lantus, that long-term insulin in you?
Yeah, and it's like you, like I've never done a triathlon or anything like that, but like I do cycle, and I've cycled up to like 200 clicks. Like I go on long treks, 5, 6, 7 hour treks on a bike, and like what I do on a bike is like for an hour of tennis, my blood sugars will go down, but because I have the banana, they'll stay in the sweet spot. But
Hmm.
over an hour, I feel like the first 40 minutes of exercise for me, I'm pretty stable. After 40 is when the body starts reaching into glycogen to like get glucose to continue to fuel you to move. So what I'll do
Yeah.
is say I'm on a really big bike ride. After 40 minutes, I'll say, because I've got my phone on my bike, I'll say, hey Siri, set a timer for 20 minutes. And then every 20 minutes on that bike ride, I have a little fanny pack in the front of my bike. I'll take like 3 or 4 little like jubes or something, just to give myself a quick shot of glucose so that I can continue on.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. Triathlon, you actually get high. So when you're starting the
Okay.
swim, you're going to have so much cortisol pushing because of nerves, because you're literally about to jump in the middle of the ocean. Not the middle, but you're going to jump in the ocean with like, 100 other guys in your wave. And, it's a little bit hectic.
Adrenaline Central. Holy smokes.
But when you swim for a mile swim, probably take what, 30 minutes, something like that, maybe 40 minutes, maybe 28 minutes, somewhere. I haven't tracked it in a while, but you start to definitely get low because you're kicking and you're swimming
Mm-hmm.
with your arms, so you really do start to push. So you kind of want to start out high. What I do before the swim is I put my insulin pump. I put it on activity mode,
Mm.
and what I do, so it's not pushing insulin while I'm swimming, right before I get in the water, they're like, okay, line up. I'm going to suck a honey packet because I love the really good organic raw honey packets. And
Mm.
then that's when I'm going to get ready to swim. And
Cool.
then I'm going to do the swim. And when I get out of the water, I'm going to transition to the bike. And that's when I'm probably going to eat a banana or 2 bananas,
All
get
right.
on the bike. Because once you get on the bike, it's like tennis, right? It's consistent cardio,
Boom, boom,
like
boom.
you're biking. So you can start to really get low because now
Yeah.
it's more mellow. I think swimming's more fast and furious. I
Crazy.
think bike, you can really get low on a bike.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
and then by the time you get to the run, you're not really getting low because your body's stressed now because now you've really stressed your body, so your body's pushing cortisol. And when your body's pushing cortisol, it kind of keeps your blood sugars up. So by
Yeah.
the time you get to the run, yeah, you can get low, but by then now your body's stressed and it wants it to end. And
Hmm.
so you're dealing with less lows than you would be on the bike. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just a matter of, for Jack and I, we're not just diabetics, we have Addison. So,
Yeah.
when you don't have the adrenals functioning properly with it all, electrolytes are the key,
Mm.
right? Sleep, like between Jack's age and my age, when I was Jack's age, I didn't sleep as that
Mm-hmm.
much. I mean, I was like 6 hours a night.
Hmm.
Now I'm 8 hours.
Right.
Like we know so much more now, right, Jack?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
self care is the most. When I was Jack's age, I did not think about self care, and I was just
Yeah.
inflammatory guy. And now it's like for me, self care is the most important because if Jack and I can't function at high levels, we can't do what we do well in our other areas of life. Would you agree with that, Jack?
100%. It's funny. I had a friend of mine who's a founder who's incredibly successful, and he's very like old school, and so we both are on the Whoop, the fitness tracker, and we have
Mm-hmm.
community on Whoop where we talk to each other. And I met him one day and we were in person, and I'm like, dude, my recoveries have been so good lately. And he's like, yeah, I've been watching you sleep. You're sleeping so well. It's very like, you're not, must not be working very hard, are you? Like, cause it's like startup mode. Like I'm trying to build something big. I should be getting like 4 hours of sleep a night. And it really hit me in that moment. I was like, geez, should I be sleeping less and like working harder? And I took it back and I was like, no, like that would F me up more. If I didn't get the sleep, I wouldn't be able to wake up every day, turn on the go button, and really be productive. So, it's a mindset shift. He's like, you're not sleeping, like, you're sleeping too much. You need to be working harder. And I'm like, no, that's not what my body allows me to do. I need that sleep. That's a non negotiable. And if I'm not getting that, then I'm not performing. This business isn't going to grow and I'm not going to be happy. So,
100%.
I think that like old like dogma or stigma of like no sleep, work, work, work. I think that's so outdated, and I think that
So outdated.
yeah, it's refreshing to hear
So
you say.
outdated. Then Jack and I, we got 3 autoimmune. So,
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, our life depends on it. So, Jack, let's finish it up here. We're at
yeah,
45 minutes. I
yeah,
just want to say for all of you, just to put a pin, to give you my thoughts, like, hey, focus on quality over quantity. Focus on recovery over workout, right? Working out is great. You're tearing down muscle, the body's using, but recovery is the most important part. Sleep is the most important part. Not eating is the most important part. And then
hmm
focus on proteins and fats to slow the absorption of your carbohydrates and your insulin needs. And I think you're going to do great.
yeah.
What do you think, Jack?
My biggest takeaway, I think, is like you were saying, like you're very insulin sensitive. Like you're very insulin sensitive during the day, and I'm very insulin sensitive. I'm very insulin resistant during the day. I think we're all different, and it's really a
Yep.
question of, like taking the time and like falling to get learning how to walk before you can run. Like you and I have a totally different way in which we approach. Well, not totally different. In fact, it's pretty similar. But like there are small things in which we approach things differently. You'll have carbs midday. I won't. Um, Really taking the time to learn how your body functions
Yeah.
and making it personal. Like it's easy to read stuff online about like how to do it, but like the amount of times that I've read stuff online about how to do it and it doesn't work for me. I think a big thing too is like, find a community of people you can talk to who can like hold you accountable. It's bloody defeating when you're doing it all on your own and like it's failing and you're like, "Oh, what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to turn, I don't know, guidance, please." Like if you got people to talk to, that can really help you unlock holding yourself accountable and like finishing something. If you want to do something if you want to commit to like changing um, some kind of food input or activity output, like if after 3 days you're defeated because it's not working, it might take a bit more time. So like have a community there to hold you accountable if you're not strong enough, which I wasn't a lot of times, to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, who you surround yourself with is most important. You
Oh my
surround yourself with people that pull energy from you, you're going to struggle. You surround yourself with people who fill your energy cup and support your lifestyle. People are criticizing you for being super on top of your food and not eating like garbage like them. You're hanging around the wrong people.
Yeah, wrong people. Yeah,
So,
you're defined by the company you keep. Get selfish.
yeah.
So
So we're
yeah,
out of time, Jack. It was great spending this
yeah,
48 minutes with you. Hopefully, we can provide some value for people because we're very complex in our biology. Probably not many, if any, people are going to listen to this podcast that have all 3 endocrine autoimmunes. So I think this can help a lot. Jack, until next time,
yeah.
Rare
Anybody
Humans
wants to chat,
podcast.
we're always here to chat. Like, Kevin and I will be more than happy to take your call and jump on. We want to be your community. If you're trying to figure something out, give us a call. I'll give you our email so our email is somerarehumans@gmail.com. Again, please give us a call. Let's chat. Like nothing would make me happier, and I think Kevin too, to help other people get healthier. That's why we're both here.
All right, everybody.
Bye
Have a
now.
fabulous day.
You
See you
too.
next time.